On the Secretary of State's website, on our dashboards page, you can navigate to our campaign finance tab. And on here, we have a dashboard that shows candidate contributions and expenditures for the city, council, and mayor races for this November. On the left is contributions to candidates during the, not necessarily just during this cycle, but also since 2020. So we have previous city candidates. The blue refers to mayor and the gold is city council. And then on the right side here, we have a few different options. The first default tab is maps that shows where contributions are coming in from. This is for all the candidates. And you can select different bars over here to filter by candidate. We also have a timeline of contributions, and you can color it by office or candidate. And finally, on the contribution side, you can select the contributors tab to see how many unique donors are in different races into different candidates, filter between individual donors and company donors. There's a search bar and then a visual representation of the size of the donation. So for instance, we can look at Michael Masterson's campaign, click on it, and it filters for different vendors. You can hover over to see how much was contributed, the types, and the number of unique donors. Or we can go back to the map and see where contributions to Masterson's campaign has come from. Uh, there's also some filters here for different races. So if we just want to look at city council for Caldwell, for instance, you can see, the map here. We got different, the number of cities and states. We can filter for just Idaho only and not out of state. But these filters apply to all the charts here. And then if we drill down and are wondering, for instance, John McGee during the last cycle, once we have that selected, it filters down here. We can show reports. And if somebody wants to actually investigate, you can click here and look at the actual report filing that the candidate filed with us. We can switch over here, and this button on the top right says expenditures. And now we're looking at a similar dashboard, but instead of money coming into campaigns, this is money going out of campaigns. So same is blue is mayor and gold is city council, a map of where the vendors are that money was spent on, a couple quick facts about it. We once again have a timeline, color by office or candidate, and finally a list of vendors that campaigns spent money on, the number of unique vendors, different categories. So was it for advertising, operational expenses, campaign management, travel, etc. And in the bottom, the same color code by category for the actual vendors themselves. And I showed how you can filter on the left by clicking on the bars to filter the charts on the right. But the same is true in the opposite direction, where you can click on the vendor itself, or you can select the category and it filters the rest of the chart. So if you're curious who's spending the most on advertising, who's spending the most on Facebook advertising, the possibilities are endless for exploring campaign finance data on the Secretary of State's website.